It was a cold 21-degree night in Atlanta, Georgia. I was sitting on the outskirts of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is the home of the Atlanta Falcons, with a bunch of other ninja athletes just kind of huddled around a little tiki torch trying to keep warm. Now, I was anxiously waiting my turn at running the American Ninja Warrior course that night. You see, this has been a 10-year dream of mine, and my nerves and excitement were at an all-time freaking high. This is the first year that I was going to run the course. And earlier that day, we had done a bunch of B-roll. So if you don't know what happens, there's about 100 competitors per region, and there's usually 5 to 6 regions, and they can only do airtime for usually 8 to 9 athletes. And so they have to take B-roll of all of the competitors because they don't know who exactly is going to have the TV spots. And so we were all pumped up. We were ready to go. And it was around midnight. So they used to film the show overnight, right? As soon as it gets dark till sunup, they're filming. And it was around midnight when it all began. The biggest upset of my entire freaking life. The head producer had walked over to the ninjas, blew a little whistle, and called us all around. And he said, obstacle number 2 is a ninja killer. It's already wiped out a few really good ninjas. Just be mentally prepared for that obstacle. Now, my first thought was oh shit. And then instantly after that, all of the ninjas, everybody was standing around, giving their own advice about what techniques you should do, what techniques you shouldn't do. And I started to listen. I just was standing and listening. There's ninja athletes that were a lot better than me, so I was listening to what they were saying. And I started to get into my own head. I knew what my strengths were. I knew that I was really good at strength and that I could definitely do the obstacle, which, by the way, was called off the hook. In case you're somebody that watched the show, it's where you take a ring, you have to swing, and you swing the ring about 6 feet in the other direction, and you have to latch into another ring. I've done this a lot of times in practice. I was pretty confident that I can do it, but my way. So that's when it happened. From a distance, I hear a producer say, Jason Meland, you're up. Are you ready to go? And I got up and I walk up onto the starting platform. Now, to my right, there's these bright lights, and there's about 50 to 60 NBC producers and all kinds of just, their staff on one side with the cameras and all that stuff. And on the left side, there was an entire crowd sitting out in the stadium, holding signs, chanting my name. They were like, Jason, Jason. And in that moment, it was like time stood still. I was frozen. It's like nothing else was there but the course. Zoned in. And then I hear 3, 2, 1. And then it was my time to run. I breezed through obstacle number 1 in a second. And record time, actually. It was a really good time, they said. And then I got to obstacle 2, and immediately I got into my head. And I said, okay. It felt like forever, but it was really just 10 seconds. I got up on the thing, and I decided to listen to one of the other competitors that was better than me, and I tried his technique. Plop, boom, splash, season over, just like that. Now, Eminem was right. You get one shot. And I freaking blew it. Now, why the heck am I telling you that story, and how does it relate to business? Well, it has a lot of golden business lessons in it, and that's what I want to give to you right now. So the first insight here that I want to give to you is to trust your gut, but to put your confidence in your decision making into your past experience, into the data that you actually have. In ninja, or pretty much any other sport, you can look at the experience. That's the data. You can look at your experience. You can look at the daily practice. You can look at your proof. In business, though, there's a few different angles that you can look at this from. The first angle, number 1, is your skills. Okay? It's incredible when you take your skills and your passion and put them together. This is where dreams do become a reality. And in business, the skills are going to be macro skills like marketing and sales. And then you could break it down into more micro skills like persuasion, storytelling, which is one and the same thing, content creation, making offers, copywriting, speaking and doing videos like this, booking appointment, which is kind of a micro skill under sales. If you're booking appointments for a coaching business, right? Delivering results to your clients. These are all skill sets that you have to develop. And your only job is to consciously get better at these skills every single day, one by one. The best way to sharpen your skills is to use them, like to freaking use your skills, right? And the key is to choose one skill that aligns with your current goal and to get proficient at it. And I believe the rule of thumb to get proficient at a skill is 20 hours. To get like good, or to be okay at it, right? To succeed with it. It takes way more hours to get really good at a skill, but to get to proficient to where you're actually able to get some results, 20 hours, you know? And then you move on to another skill. You stack the skill like bricks, and the bricks are building a castle, and that castle is your vision. So if you're clear in your vision, you align it with a current goal that you have. Say your goal is to, get 50 clients into your coaching business, right? What is the skill that is going to align with that vision, with that goal to make that happen? And you just have to take an honest assessment and say, what skill that if I got better at right now, I would start getting more clients. And it could be a lot of them. That's the tricky part. A lot of people get overwhelmed because they're like, it's a lot. Yes, it is. But you got to start with one. And so if you're just getting started, maybe it's delivering results. And if you're like, I could deliver results, Jason, amazing. Now, maybe it's marketing. Let's figure out how to market. Let's figure out how to create content that actually persuades and converts people. Let's figure out how to sell. Let's figure out copywriting, speaking, and video one by one. This is all what we teach inside the In-Demand Coach program, right? So check that out. Now, once you're past the skills, right, and you're consciously getting better at the skills every single day, week by week, month by month, stacking the bricks, the next thing that's going to help you in this journey, this is number 2, is your proof. Your proof. So in order to succeed, we must first believe that we can. And belief, in a large part, comes from your proof, right? It comes from your past experience. If someone believes they're a smoker, it's going to be much harder for them to quit smoking. If somebody believes they're fit, it's going to be much easier for them to hit the gym. If somebody believes that they're a 6 or 7 figure CEO, it's going to be much easier for them to take 6 or 7 figure actions in their business. They're going to do the money-making skills, right? They're the money-making activities, rather. And so you want to start looking at and this is the question that you can ask yourself, where in the past, inside of your business or inside of any area of your life, have you won? Where can you find proof of wins in your business or in your life, right? Success has everything to do with your identity. How you see yourself is ultimately what's going to determine the actions that you take. This comes from the old be, do, have paradigm, right? The old be, do, have model. And so it's vital for you to be able to search for proof within your own life, within your own business, and find the wins and start stacking the wins just like you do with the skills. So if you stack the wins and the proof next to the skills, you start to build more conviction. You start to build more confidence. You start to shift your own beliefs. And that's really powerful because then you come up with a new freaking identity. Now, this leads us into number 3, your reasons. Because if we face the facts right now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? You're going to fail a lot, right? Just like when I fell off of obstacle number 2 on American Ninja Warrior, something that I've been dreaming about for 10 years, vanished within seconds. Did I quit? I wanted to, straight up. I was like, shit, dude, I'm done with Ninja. I quit this. But I didn't. I got back on the horse and I found my reasons for why I do it. And that drove me to become a better athlete. And so most people give up too soon in anything, especially business as entrepreneurs, I don't know the exact statistic, but I remember hearing 85% of business owners fail within the first year. And then another 90% fail within the first 5 years. It's freaking crazy. And failure is only when you choose to quit. And a lot of people give up too soon. They fall off the horse, but they don't get back on. And the only way I've learned how to fix this is through having powerful reasons. So I want to ask you, like, what are the driving whys that keep you going? What are the things that help propel you forward despite adversity, despite you having devastation, despite things that take you off course, right? Maybe it's not to be broke again. That's a pretty good reason to, like, it's more survival based. But maybe it's to get your kids, provide for your kids the life that you wish you had and you want to give it to them. Maybe it's to buy a nice house and get out of the freaking hood. Maybe you're trying to leave the ghetto. You're just like, yo, what a nice house. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that it has meaning to you. If you think about your reasons as fuel, you've got to have the right fuel for your vehicle that's going to be able to give you that firepower to continue to move forward, right? And you got to be able to give yourself enough of it to be able to move forward. Now, there are many more lessons that I can extract from that, and I continually find more lessons the more I sit with it. And so here's what I encourage you to do right now, right? You sit down and you look at what are the skills that I need that align with my goal, that align with my vision. Because if you're trying to build a castle, it has to be built brick by brick. And the more skills you develop and the more compelled you are towards this vision, you'll start attracting other people that will help you stack these bricks. And this is where having team members start to come into your life, right? And so find out those skills. And if you're not sure what to start with, like, you've got to have a good foundation of marketing, like how to actually communicate your message in a persuasive way that compels people to want to buy from you. You've got to know how to, and you got to be able to do that through content creation, right? You've got to be able to sell your product, your program, your service. You've got to be able to prospect and find leads. You got to be able to drive traffic to your content. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. You got to be able to deliver results. So, like, those are some good ones to start with, like, if you're not really sure where to go. And then again, number 2 is you got to find your proof. Find the wins and stack the wins next to the bricks. And you're going to find that you have much more confidence and conviction, and you'll start to shift your belief and your identity along with it. And then number 3 is your reasons. Find those reasons so when you are faced with adversity, when you do come up against failure, that you can have the fuel to put into your vehicle to continue to move forward. So, my friend, I hope you found that immensely valuable today. I would love to know. Drop in the comment section. Unless you're listening on the podcast, you can head over to the YouTube if you want visuals. If you're on YouTube, drop in the comment section what you thought. What was the most impactful one for you? And how will you apply this into your business or your life moving forward? All right, my friend. As always, remember, your message matters now more than it ever has before. And so if you look around right now, there are people that are out there that are suffering, that are eating too much, drinking too much. They're just living life well below their potential. And you, as a coach, you have it inside of you to be able to make a change, to be able to use your voice, use your message, use your words in a way that helps elicit change in another human being. And so it's your duty to be able to learn how to effectively do that so we could shine more light out into this world that is being consumed by darkness, and we can help more people transform. And if you want to learn exactly how to be able to do that, check the links in the description below. I'm not sure what exactly will be there at this moment, but I'm sure there'll be something free or something for you to be able to get started towards that journey of becoming an in-demand coach. As always, be seen, be heard, and be impactful.